On the serene shores of Comoros, where the Indian Ocean met emerald green islands, a young oceanographer named Bahati stood with her toes buried in the warm sand. She was captivated by the tides, watching how they ebbed and flowed like nature's heartbeat. Her dream was audacious: to build sustainable harbors powered by tidal energy, creating harmony between humanity and the sea. "The ocean has always taken care of us," Bahati said to her brother, Jabari, a budding engineer. "It's about time we return the favor." Bahati's plan was ambitious. She envisioned harbors that didn't just dock ships, but also cleaned the ocean and generated energy. The technology? A revolutionary system she called flow weavers, which worked like nature's filter. Imagine this: platforms that float on the water and use special net-like materials to catch trash and clean the water as it flows through, kind of like a giant underwater sponge. The system also used the waves to create energy like a water-powered windmill. Bahati and Jabari transformed their father's old fishing shed into a bustling workshop where every corner told a story. They created flow weavers with materials like stretchy, water-friendly fabrics, colorful coral-like coatings to attract fish, and even some shiny seashells for good luck. Jabari liked to joke that the secret ingredient was a lot of coffee and a little bit of magic. Their favorite tool, a pedal-powered gadget they called the squid squeezer, which helped weave their filters together by spinning like a bicycle for the ocean. Their tools ranged from modern 3D printers to hand-carved wooden prototypes. The wave weavers consisted of floating platforms that captured tidal energy and filtered pollutants using microalgae technology. "We're basically making the ocean's Roomba," Jabari joked, holding up a prototype. "Except ours won't get stuck under the couch," Bahati retorted with a grin. Their first test was a modest success. The platform generated enough energy to power a lighthouse on the main island. The algae filters even managed to clear a patch of water, revealing coral reefs beneath that hadn't been seen in years. News of Bahati's project spread quickly, carried by whispers at bustling fish markets and viral videos of her shimmering platforms clearing water like magic. Soon, international media outlets dubbed her the Ocean Weaver. Word reached the ears of shipping companies when a viral clip showed a school of dolphins dancing around the wave weavers as if endorsing the technology. "If it can bring dolphins to our ports, imagine the PR," exclaimed one shipping executive. Articles, tweets, and even memes featuring Bahati's project turned her into an environmental rock star, catching the attention of corporations eager to capitalize on her innovation. One conglomerate, Big Ocean Inc., expressed interest, with an oily representative who looked like he'd swim in crude oil if it was socially acceptable. "Your technology is impressive," he oozed. "Imagine this on every coast, powered by, well, us." Bahati narrowed her eyes. "You mean profiting from it while pricing us out?" "We call it progress," the man replied with a wink so exaggerated it deserved its own zip code. Jabari leaned over and whispered, "Sustainability for their bank accounts." Bahati declined the offer, choosing instead to rally local support. But Maritime Solutions wasn't done. They launched a smear campaign claiming wave weavers were unsafe and could disrupt marine ecosystems. Faced with public skepticism, Bahati turned to the community. Many locals feared the new technology would disturb fishing patterns or harm marine life. "We've survived without these fancy machines," said one elder, his tone cautious. "Why risk it now?" Bahati responded with patience and respect. She organized open workshops where villagers could touch the flow weavers, watch them in action, and ask questions. She invited fishermen to test the platforms in their own waters, explaining how the system's gentle filtering actually attracted more fish by creating safe, nutrient-rich zones. For the children, Bahati set up interactive activities, letting them decorate mini flow weaver models and release them in shallow pools to see how they worked. "Look, Mama, the fish like it," one child exclaimed, pointing at a curious school of minnows swimming around the miniature platform. Gradually, trust grew. The elders even began contributing their traditional knowledge, suggesting locations where the platforms would have the most impact. "The ocean has always been a giver," one elder said during a meeting. "Maybe now we can give back." She hosted open demonstrations, inviting fishermen, elders, and children to see the wave weavers in action. "This isn't just about technology," Bahati told the crowd. "It's about protecting what's ours, our oceans, our livelihoods, and our future." The fishermen, initially wary, began to see the benefits. The platforms attracted fish, turning them into underwater hotels where eels checked in but never checked out. Jabari's joke, not mine. Even sea turtles seemed to appreciate the innovation, often floating nearby as if they were inspecting the work. Elders shared traditional fishing practices that Bahati incorporated into the design, ensuring the platforms didn't disrupt local marine life. Jabari added a humorous touch by programming the platforms to play Comorian folk songs when they detected pollution. "A little serenade for the ocean," he said with a laugh. One night, a powerful storm rolled in, threatening the wave weavers. Bahati and Jabari rushed to the harbour, where the platforms were being battered by waves. "If we lose them now, we lose everything," Bahati said, her voice firm. With the help of local volunteers, they secured the platforms and activated an emergency mode Jabari had installed. The platforms folded into protective shells, weathering the storm like resilient sea turtles. The next morning, as the sun rose, the harbour stood intact, looking like glittering sea castles. The community erupted into cheers, while Jabari tried to convince everyone the storm had been part of a dramatic live test. "Next time we'll add fireworks," he announced, earning an eye roll from Bahati. Bahati's success drew international acclaim. Scientists from Polynesia were awed by the way the wave weavers harmonized with tidal flows, comparing them to the delicate precision of coral reef ecosystems. Canadian engineers praised the simplicity and scalability of the technology, noting how it could revolutionize harbour infrastructure in remote regions. Japanese oceanographers admired the microalgae filtration system, likening it to their traditional methods of seaweed farming, which emphasized working in harmony with nature. The wave weavers became a beacon of sustainable innovation, inspiring researchers to integrate similar designs in their own coastal projects worldwide. Scientists from Polynesia, Canada, and Japan visited Comoros to learn from her work. Together they formed the Ocean Harmony Network, a global initiative to replicate the wave weavers in vulnerable coastal regions. At a summit in Seychelles, Bahati spoke passionately about the project. "The ocean doesn't belong to any one nation," she said. "It's a shared gift, and we must protect it together." Jabari added with a grin, "And if you're nice, we'll even program yours to play folk songs." Back in Comoros, the wave weavers became a source of pride. Schools incorporated their story into lessons, using interactive modules that let children design their own mini wave weavers out of recyclable materials. In one class, a student named Fatima created a model that sang every time it filtered water, winning a local science fair. Other students were inspired to start eco-projects like designing floating gardens or creating art from ocean debris. These stories of innovation turned Bahati and Jabari into local heroes, sparking a wave of creativity and environmental awareness among the next generation. Fishermen painted their boats with images of the platforms, calling them ocean saviors. Bahati stood on the shore, watching the sunset reflect off the shimmering platforms. "This is just the beginning," she said. "One day, the world will look to the ocean not as a resource to exploit, but as a partner to cherish." Jabari placed a hand on her shoulder. "And if not, we'll program the platforms to complain in every known language." They laughed, their voices carried by the ocean breeze, knowing they had created something not just for Comoros, but for the world.